My task today was to look at employment, which is one of the three main focuses that we're dealing with today. And we have worked with the Senior Community Service Employment Program, and there have been tremendous successes with that program. Before MERS Goodwill had it, it was housed in our AAA, and we had a homeless person come in, and she was able. This person was able, by getting employment through the Title V program, to establish a home and no longer be homeless. But again, it's a limited period of time. And I wanted to speak a little bit about the barriers that older workers face. I think sometimes we don't want to talk about that because it's something that exists as an undercurrent in all of our employers and all of our businesses. There's just this little bit of an undercurrent that if you have two workers come in, and I think there was actually a reporter who dressed herself up as an older person, who made the interviews with the same skill sets, but she was not considered for a number of businesses because she came in older, and then she also came in as a younger person, and she was hired. So again, there's this definite undercurrent that people have a suspicion of hiring an older worker. There are three myths that are out there about well, there's many myths, but there's three primary myths that are out there about older workers. The first one is that they're slower and more expensive because they're older. The second one is that they're less expensive, not less expensive, less productive, and that they can't learn, the third one is they can't learn the new skills. So I see lots of heads shaking. That is not the truth. Those are myths that exist despite many studies that say that this is not what's going on. So as being advocates, I would say that the Older Americans Act could do a huge service by looking at ways to have initiatives that dispel these myths for older workers. And I know the Senior Center Community Service and Employment Plan has already done some of that. We used to get posters, they would be posted, and would start to look at, helping people dispel these kinds of myths. So I would say that needs to be expanded. I also would suggest that there are needs beyond the Community Service Employment Program because those are income limited. There are a huge number of workers that are just over that income limited that are receiving very little support. I serve on a workforce investment board here in St. Louis County. I know that there are benchmarks that actually discriminate against older workers because older workers tend to have a higher wage when they leave their job or are out of their job, but when they go back to get another job, they get a lesser wage. Well, that discourages the workforce investment people from doing service for older workers because that counts against them. So there should be a sliding scale that really works with the barriers, the challenges that older workers have that would then encourage workforce investment folks to work with older workers. A very small percentage, I think 1% of the older worker population is served by the Title V program. That means there's 99% of older workers out there that don't even qualify for senior community service employment. So again, it's a true challenge to look at this huge workforce. And I would say that we not only can serve the older workers, but we will be benefiting the businesses who will be challenged to get new workers in. There's a smaller pool of workers coming up. And before the downturn in the economy, there was a huge concern that there wouldn't be enough teachers, there wouldn't be enough police officers, there wouldn't be enough linemen, because there weren't enough folks out there to really fill those jobs. Well, by working with the older worker, we can not only help them, but we can help the businesses that will be challenged to find good, stable, productive workers with a good ethic, which the older workers certainly